Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I bring to you the most passionate I think I've ever been about Tau in a video. Tau had changes both across the balanced data slate and the MFM. Admittedly, it took me a while to figure out what the changes really do for Tau. And a bit of understanding why I saw so many Tau players say that this changes nothing. I have a scorching hot take on where the downfall of Tau really started this edition. Uh, but I don't know. I think I can see this. I got to take the most fence setting position on this. That I can see why so many Tau players are saying this changes nothing, but I can also see the good of it. Also, I want to hear your interpretation of the new rule, like how you think that this gets played now. Because what happened is the army rule for the greater good. Now, at the start of your shooting phase, you can select units from your army with this ability to become observer units. Period. Break in the line. New paragraph. For each observer unit that is eligible to shoot, that isn't a fortification or battle shock, select one enemy unit that is visible to be marked as their spotted unit until the end of the phase. Period. Break. Paragraph. Units from your army that aren't observer units are guided units while targeting one or more spotted units. Period. Break. New paragraph. Until the end of the phase, each time a model from your army with for the greater good makes an attack that is an observer, targets a spotted unit, improve the ballistic skill of that characteristic of that attack by 1, and if the spotted unit was marked by an observer that has marker light, that attack has ignores cover. Why did I do that weird? Break. Period. New paragraph thing right there. Because there seems to be a discrepancy on if you have to choose the spotted units at the start of the shooting phase. The way I read it and interpret it is that you just have to pick your observers at the start of the shooting phase. And then when you're about to do your shenaniganizing, then you pick targets as the shooting phase goes on. That way, if things are hiding in transports, but you pop the transport, then you can go on and get the things that got out of the transport. After that, make them spotted. That just seems like it would be a better flow of the game, and that's if you were to come across me and be like, "Hey, I play Tau," that's how I would let you play it throughout the game. But if you take the interpretation that no, everything has to happen at the start of your shooting phase, can you please explain that one a bit more to me? Like, I understand that's probably I can see where it came from, but I want to see more on like why that is. Now, going past that, of course, they had to make some changes. Cal Yan, instead of getting sustained hits too, now you get ignore mods. I guess the enhancements. I have something about the enhancements too, but the ones that give you the opposite of my car Kalyan got changed so that you can do it effectively. And there were some changes to the stealth battle shoots. They to put pathfinders each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets their spotted unit. Improve the you get what you give. Firesight team. I have something about the Firesight team too. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets a spotted unit, you can re-roll the hit roll. Okay, cool. I have a lot of feelings and a lot of things. So let's talk about the points. Stealth battle shoots went up 20, Crude Carnivores went up 10 for 20, and the enhancements in Kalyan and Monka that give you the inverse went up to 40 points. I think this is over being overly cautious. I don't think the Carnivores needed to go up in any capacity, really. I understand why the stealth battle shoots went up, because now it's not like a single pair, but, essentially you're Oath of Momenting one unit per turn. I get it. Or not even one unit, because if you take three squads of three, as you all were doing, yeah, that's three units that are getting Oath of Momented, right? I get that. By the entire army. So, yeah, I get that their points had to go on. But going to the enhancements, My problem number one is what the fuck do you put this on? After looking more at the Tau roster and hearing what you all have told me on past videos, now I could still be misinterpreting what you were trying to say, so please correct me if that's not what it is. But what the fuck do you put enhancements on? What characters and what things do you get to do this with? Because you had to take stealth battle shoots, not the way that I interpreted it initially. I was like, oh, that's like my Lictor. It's 60 points, does things. But it turns your army on, because if we do a funky little spotted thing here, alright, how many times does spotted get mentioned? You got Talon, our Supremacy Armor, the Fireside team, coming back to you, buddy. Pathfinder team, stealth battle shoots. Alright, what about units that are observers? Like, give benefits for being observers. Oh, just the stealth battle shoots. So, my scorching hot take that I talked about or alluded to earlier is that I think that shit went downhill when the Tetris went away. I think you need more shit to do things for your army to turn it on. And to that point, and coming back to the enhancements, and something that got changed. Is the Firesight team worth considering in any capacity? 70 points for a lone op with stealth that infiltrates. Can get rerolls into something that it spots. It has marker light. But if you just want to lone op stealth infiltrate to put on the enhancement in the cheapest way possible in something like Kalyan or Mont-Ka, 40 points, we're going up to 110 points for something that's alright, I guess. Now, that's a lot different than, Oath of Moment 3 times over, and better, right? Wound rolls of 1, and side grade because it's not full rerolls to hit, right? But you get what I'm saying here. Is it enough to at least include a Firesight team or two so that you can benefit from things like that? Because, now looking at the other detachments, they don't really have too many things where it's that egregious that there's not necessarily the best includes like experimental prototype cadre. All is just fucking the boosting the weapon situation. Retaliation cadre, it's like, alright, gotta be a battle shoot and do some things here. So, not too much on that end. And auxiliary, you can at least take a crude lone spear and make it get for the greater good. So there's the trade-off there, right? So I think strictly for playing Kalyan and Mont-Ka, my question is, do you do the Firesight team? And do you consider Firesight team overall past the enhancement problem of the cheap? I'm saying it's a problem. If it's not a problem and you know how to work through it, you're like, nah, Breacher Fists are fine enough. Please let me know. But that's steep. It's like 100. It's 190 points for Breacher Squad with Cadre or Ethereal and this enhancement, not including the Devil Fist. But I guess you could stretch out to get some spotting somewhere. That just feels like a lot. To make it 40 points, that seems like Tau gets put back a few steps that it didn't really need to be put. So, I just want to know, first off, Firesight team, are you including them now? Is it worth including Firesight team in your list now in any capacity to get some of these benefits? And at least you can reroll hit rolls into a spotted unit. Doesn't even have to say it has to be your spotted unit. But, reroll hit roll, that's fine. Heavy precision, take something out. A character, maybe, right? And if you're doing like the whole lethal sustain thing just talked about, there you go. Take out a Technomancer with that, right? Maybe. You're okay, maybe not. But yeah, to that end, right? There's something there. But past that, I hope that GW circles back around because I am talking about that Tetra thing again now, where you need something besides just one unit in your army to help get an effect from being an observer. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that it's a pretty good effect. You get +1 to hit essentially, and it possibly ignores cover. So essentially +1 AP right there. But at the same time, making it so that the shooting army starts by hitting on fours without it is kind of fucking weird. So I would hope that the piranhas get a change similar to what I got over in Tyrannage with the Psychophage, where we like just a random fix. You just a real hook ball. That piranhas get something reminiscent of Tetras. Let's bring Tetras back up for those that never has seen a Tetra. Tetras. High intensity marker lights. Each time this unit is an observer unit until the end of the phase, each time a model in this guided unit makes an attack that targets their spotted unit, you can reroll the hit roll. They said, hey, stealth battle shoots, you have those, but at a point in time you had Tetras and stealth battle shoot. So, infiltrate 14 inches to at least get some lines. Infiltrate 8 inches is different, but you have home and beacon rapid ingress. So it'd be nice if you just had more tools in your kit to start some things. And I'm looking at some units like the Piranha, or let's actually take this back off, take out Legends. Laying out things like Piranhas, or maybe even something as, is it which one of you? I always forget which one has the marker light. Yeah, like making a Skyray gunship cheaper just so you can get marker light somewhere, some way, somehow on top of that, and a benefit. I don't know. I just feel like you need cheaper things to turn your army's ability on. So that's the standpoint of why I can see that people don't really feel that this changes much with Tau. Because, yes, now for 80 points, your entire army gets into a unit, reroll hit rolls of 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1, possibly sustained, lethal, +1 to hit. And, if you take a marker drone on the stealth battle suits, ignore cover. Right? All of that's cute, fine, and dandy. But is that enough? Right? Because I don't want it to seem like that isn't a good package. That's a pretty damn good package. Most people would ask for being able to do that. And it's each time this unit until the end of the phase. It doesn't just say, as far as I am aware, right? It doesn't have to just be once per one. So if you put all your stealth battle shoots out on one turn and, play point them out, knock them out with 3 units, that sounds pretty strong. That admittedly does sound pretty strong for, what are we looking at, 240 points? Yeah, I can get that. But on the flip side, I'm not a fan of army range design that says, hey, if you want to do something with one part of your army rule, this is all we got for you. We got 1 unit for it. So, I get it. And actually, thinking about how they said fortification stuff, it's even funny. I don't think any of them have for the greater good. Yeah, they don't. So I don't know. I don't know. Just a bunch of weird things. My questions for you Tal players that have made it this far, it gives me the chance to at least learn from you all. Do you use the Piranha at all? I don't think I've seen it in a list. Past Leviathan. Past Leviathan, I don't think I've seen it in a list where GW really tried to convince us that Battle Shock is going to be the thing this edition. So yeah, didn't see it in Pariah Nexus whatsoever. But if you are a secret Piranha lover and you're like, no, it turns in my army all the time. I use the Melta to take out everything. It's amazing. Please tell me, because I think this is the thing that needs to be Tetra-esque or something. I understand the power of the stealth battle shoots. I just feel bad that that's your only thing. So of course it's going to continue to be pointed like it is. And Firesight team, let me know if it's worth including one in your list now just to take an enhancement or two. Or hell, just to get more shit that can point things out instead of relying on stealth battle shoots to carry on that. Because that's the thing. I don't remember if I said it in this take. Pulling back the curtain, this took me more than one take. That looking at some of the, when I asked Tal players last time around, like, hey, what's going on here? I always figured your stealth battle shoots were like my Lictor, like just 60 points, do some bullshit. But no, it is like, no, we need that to run. So we take 3 of those because we have to. And I hate the things that you feel like my Hive Tyrant that just got nerfed, or Exocrines that just got, well, they didn't get nerfed, but they got nerfed the last one. So yeah, I get that, and I hate auto include units like that because it's just like, or Lord Solar Leontis, any of that shit. I'm not fond of that. Where it's like, no, just to play the game, I have to take this unit. So let me know how we feel about these two things, and I get that these are good. I get they're staple now. Let me know how you're feeling about all the changes regarding Tau. Maybe I'm missing something else. I'm not quite seeing the vision. I think it's a good change, but I do now understand, I think fully, why so many Tau players are saying that it's not enough. So I'm happy to see what you all do. I'm hopeful for you all. Detachment wise, I think Mont Ka looks the best based off changes. I think that Auxiliary Cadre looks good now that you all finally figured out how to use Crew. Yeah, I'm looking at a lot of you. Crew Rampagers are pretty good. And I'm waiting for you all at Experimental Prototype Cadre to figure out about Crew Tox Riders and Crew Carnivores, cough cough. So yeah, or Crew Farstalkers, not Carnivores, my bad. Whichever the lethal hitch one, whatever the fuck. But yeah, if you like the video, like it. Got a comment from a comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.